Today's battle map in Disney World is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind in Epcot. I'll be using Inkarnate for this build, with music by Tabletop Audio. You can find links to this map in the description for your games. Let's begin. First, I found a really great layout of the entire attraction thanks to Park Lore, then began tracing my layout lines. After I've got my trace complete, I'm going to darken out the space around the ride building, where I'll paint on the ride video, including stars and the Celestial. But before we jump to that, let's build the track. I used these industrial pipe assets that I reshaped and retoned to fit the ride aesthetic. Once I have a straight piece, I'll copy and paste it, and for the corners, I'll just use those original pieces. I did a lot of copy and pasting to begin with, then rendered the image multiple times later to spot out little imperfections so I could go back and fix them. Now let's put down our walls. I'm using concrete walls to match the modern architecture. Now for the Celestial, I'll use Photoshop to cut a Google image to image to scale. Then I'll do the same for the warp portals in space and the Guardians ship. Then the space elements, including the ride, planets, and galaxies. This ride is very vibrant against the black, so I'll paint a lot of colors using the brush tool, and then add light assets over top of that. For this room, riders experience a big bang and fly backwards through electric portals to space. So using bright blue and white lights is essential. Now to place some arrows down to show our players and our game masters where to go. Did you know that there are 6 tracks you could possibly hear on this ride? My favorite is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. It's the best. Comment and tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. Now for the initial launch into space, this series of 3 areas will be mechanical, vibrant, and tight cornered. So let's start with this outer space, and I'll move back inward later. Cosmic Rewind is Epcot's first roller coaster. It's fully enclosed and was Disney World's first Marvel-themed attraction. The ride is an omnicoaster, meaning individual ride vehicles, or star jumpers, can rotate individually thanks to programming. This allows for Disney Imagineers to force the rider's vision to certain areas of interest. This can accommodate around 2,500 guests per hour. Now let's build the star jumper. I'm slowing this section down to show you each piece that goes onto the vehicle. You can also see how fuzzy details are before it gets rendered. Now, before we place those down, we need to build the metal carriers of the star jumpers that sit underneath directly on the track. After I place those down, I can place the star jumpers down. Now let's get those bright colors reflecting from the set pieces and the LED screens. There we go. Okay, back inside. The first building I'll finish up laying down the walls, including this one bordering the maintenance room. Now for the start of the coaster, you pass through a red bright tunnel before coming face to face with Peter Quill and the Guardians of the Galaxy via screens. For the end of the coaster, you're greeted by the Guardians once again, this time a hologram under a circular plate. Now after we lay down our light, we'll move into the boarding deck, or boarding area. This attraction has over 200,000 square feet. It's huge. It contains over 80 miles of rebar and over 9,000 cubic yards of concrete. It spans over 2 buildings and has multiple pre-shows. It's massive. Now let's hop over to the entrance, where our riders from Earth called Terrans are welcomed by the Nova Corps. This large circular room holds an impressive amount of riders in line, and the ceiling showcases a large concave video display of space. Further down the queue line, you get to experience a museum-style display of video, model ships, and holograms presented by the Nova Corps. With 2 pre-show videos, Cosmic Rewind features more than 75 minutes of original content, including original cast members from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. There are even Easter eggs along the way, including Peter Quill referencing his fond memories of going to Epcot. Now let's bring some life to the maintenance room, before we jump outside to build the exterior. We're almost done. We'll add down our paths and some grass with some trees just to cover that back area. And before you know it, we're complete. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind in Epcot, featuring Entrance Dome, the Nova Corps Museum, and 2 pre-shows: the loading dock, the initial launch and portal jump into space, a Big Bang launch, and the coaster building with star jumpers, planets, galaxies, and Isan the Celestial. If you've enjoyed watching this map being made, consider hitting the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to check out my other videos on other classic Disney World rides. Thank you so much for stopping by and clicking on this video. Hope you had a good time. I'll see you next time.